Hi, this is Ravi Neeladri from Cerebra Green. So currently, we live in a very linear economy model. We mine, we take the materials that is required for production. Once we produce, we sell, and at the end of life, they get disposed. Most of these, all of them, they more or less ends in the landfills. And as we see during the pandemic and after the pandemic, the entire global focus is now on the digital economy. Everybody is trying to digitize their operations. That means more and more usage of IT assets, mobile equipment. Now we have drones as a service, e-passports. All of this, they all add to the burst of usage for IT and electronics products. So with more focus on production-linked incentive program that has been introduced in 2021, encouraging producers, the global producers to come into India and our Indian producers, manufacturers to produce in India. So we have this PLI program running into something like $27 billion across 13 segments. All this is generating massive interest in production of electronics in the country. Now in this particular budget 22, we also have now a PLI scheme for solar panels. Government has budgeted something like 19,000 crores for this particular incentive. So what it means is that not only it's good for our economy to produce all of this in our country, but also what it denotes and signifies is that all these things will come back as a waste. We are already third largest e-waste generator in the world, and we're growing quite rapidly in that e-waste generation. So the time now is to think about how we move from linear economy to the circular economy. So linear economy, as I said, it was like, you take, you make, and you dispose. But the circular economy, what it does is it closes the loop. The disposal that doesn't end up in landfills. It helps us to reclaim the materials, the metals that have been used in this particular end-of-life material items. And it makes more economic sense and also sustainability side. It makes more sense to, for example, there are metals like copper, gold, silver, aluminum, rare earth metals in all these items. It makes sense to recycle and take out these metals out rather than mining and manufacturing these metals. It's that much more economically right and correct and feasible rather than just depending upon mining to manufacture the new items. Especially rare earth metals like cerium, neodymium, terbium, europium. All these metals are required to manufacture electronics and semiconductors. And it's very, very, very difficult to mine these metals and very expensive. So it's great to hear that the finance minister in the budget 22 has given a very clear indication that India is moving towards circular economy. It's great to hear that they already identified 10 sectors which they made the circular economy plans. Like, for example, e-waste sector, end-of-life vehicles recycling sector, used oil waste recycling sector, like this. So it's fantastic to hear that we are moving in the circular economy, and we think it is a time to create infrastructure, the reverse logistics that are required to bring the end-of-life materials to the recycling industry so that all these metals can be reclaimed. Most importantly, how to integrate the informal sector, especially in a country like India. The informal sector almost gets like 95% of all the end of life metals. And then they don't have any infrastructure to process them and take these metals out the right way. So, how do we integrate this informal sector and bring in about the technical upgradation? So, all these things might be outside the budget, but the finance minister has given a very clear indication that the policies, the public policies, the innovation facilitation, a more stricter framework where the bulk consumers, they will not sell the end of life IT assets but give it for recycling, and more stringent extended producer responsibility compliances for the producers. So all these policies happen outside the budget, and to hear that the government is ready to look into it and make into policies gives us a lot to cheer about from this particular budget. And also a lot of mention about issuing sovereign bonds for green infrastructure. That's a great beginning. Battery interoperability and battery as a service. This will give a great traction for EV adoption. Special mobility zones and non-fossil fuel vehicles. All of these are great thoughts towards having a more sustainable circular economy. So these are our thoughts from Cerebra Green with regard to 2022 budget. Thank you.